The Portland Trailblazers have changed. What's going on, everyone? I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Today, I want to talk about the Blazers and their recent hot stretch that they're on, because they're one of the best teams in the NBA right now, and I think that needs to be discussed. I also want to talk about what they should do at the trade deadline and what I think they should do, and then finish the video up by talking about the insane Luka Doncic trade and how the recent trades have affected the Blazers. With that said, though, buckle up and let's get right into it. So the Portland Trailblazers are good all of a sudden, I guess, huh? In my last video, I talked about how this team had potential to be much better than we all thought, and a lot better than their record actually suggested. And since then, the Blazers are 8-1 over their last 9 games and are the #1 ranked defense during that span of games. Now, if you're a longtime Blazers fan, being the #1 ranked defense for any stretch of the season just seems like such an unlikely thing to happen, and so I almost don't believe that stat no matter how many times I looked it up. But what exactly happened that propelled the Blazers to this level and helped them get to where they are now? Well, you can't talk about the team without talking about PNWDev. He came back from being out for a few games and instantly made a huge impact. Denny's the energy and the glue guy that holds this whole team together, and he plays a huge part in keeping everyone locked in throughout the game. During that stretch of games, he's averaging 18.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 4.4 assists, and honestly, he's the key to this team's success right now. But we can't talk about the team's success without also talking about their anchor, DeAndre Ayton, who's been playing phenomenal the last 10 games. He's averaging 16.8 points, 10.9 rebounds, and 1.7 assists over the last 9 games, and is coming off of a monster 25-20 game last night, helping the Blazers win in overtimes versus his former team, the Phoenix Suns. And you also have to talk about the youngster, the guy who is supposed to be the star of this future going forward, and that's Scoot Henderson. He had a hot stretch earlier in January, and while he may not be averaging 25 points like he was during a few weeks ago, he still has been playing much better lately, and he's averaging 14.2 points, 5.7 assists, and 3.2 rebounds on over 60% true shooting percentage, and that is a completely different Scoot than we saw the first half of the season or his entire rookie season. Now, even if his counting stats don't look much better than they did his rookie year, just the fact that Scoot is shooting the ball better, both from the field and from the three-point line, the free throw line looks better, and overall his true shooting percentage is up nearly 12% from what it was his rookie year. I think those are huge strides, and you can just see Scoot moving in the direction that we want him to go. I'm not as worried about the points per game or even the assists per game, but if he's shooting the ball better and is making the right reads, then that's all I'm looking for this season for him. And so since the Blazers are coming off of this hot stretch though, is this something that they can keep up? The Blazers have someone new each night that is stepping up and contributing big time to helping the team win. Whether it's Ayton in his 20-20 game last night, or Denny scoring 39-2 versus Milwaukee just a couple games ago, or Scoot's 23-5-7 game versus Orlando, the Blazers' young core is stepping up, and you can just see them blossoming into the players that we all thought they could become one day. Now, can we expect this the rest of the season, and will they try to make a push for the playoffs? I mean, I probably doubt it. I hope so, though. The trade deadline is this Thursday, 2 days as I'm recording this video, and it seems a bit uncertain what exactly the Blazers are going to do, which is just totally on par for the Blazers. Now, my prediction is that they end up trading Robert Williams, as it seems like there's a lot of interest from him around the league, but a report today just came out that the Blazers are seeking an unprotected first-round pick for him, and so I don't know if any team, even as desperate as they are going to bite on that asking price. And in my past video, I said that I thought Ayton should be traded for sure, but given how he's been playing the last 10 games over the last month, I don't know if he should be traded. He really loves it here in Portland, and right now his trade value is probably about as low as you could possibly get, and so I honestly wouldn't mind keeping him until the offseason, where he'll have quite a bit more value due to him being an expiring contract. And he might even be worth some value if he keeps playing well like he has been for the last month. Now, I do think that the Blazers also end up trading Jeremy Grant. I'm honestly not really sure for what. At this point, even if you just get a couple good second round picks or one protected first round pick, that might be worth it just because you'd be able to clear the way for Denny Avdija to start full time, and that would be great. And now the only way I really see this team truly regressing and being worse than they are right now is if they make some sort of big trade like moving Anthony Simons. Not really sure if that happens or not, or how likely it is that the Blazers are even fielding options for Anthony Simons. But there's one thing about Cronin that I know, and if you've been following the Blazers tenure since he's been in the general management position, is that he usually keeps his cards pretty close to his chest, and so you never really know what Cronin's thinking, and really you don't even see rumors about that kind of stuff until a trade's actually done. So I wouldn't be shocked if they trade Anthony, but also if he's still on the team, that's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. So unless they do that, I really don't see them regressing too much compared to how they've been the last month. But comment below and let me know your thoughts on this fun and electric Blazers team, and what are you expecting from them at the deadline. Speaking of trades though, let's talk about some of the big trades that have happened over the last few days. Before we start talking about the Luka trade, I want to talk about the De'Aaron Fox trade and how that actually affects the Blazers quite a bit. Now, if you aren't keeping up, De'Aaron Fox got traded to the San Antonio Spurs, and that was kind of the expectation when the news broke that the Kings wanted to trade him in the first place. It sounded like a pretty peaceful, they wanted to trade him. Fox wanted to go to San Antonio, and so they were going to try to make it happen, and they did. That move, though, might just be the nail in the coffin that puts an end to the Blazers' play-in or playoff dreams. Now, why would the San Antonio Spurs being good affect us, you might ask? Well, thanks for asking. The Spurs are 21-26 and your Portland Trailblazers are 21-29. The Spurs are the team that we would essentially need to leapfrog if we wanted a chance at making the play-in. And now that they have De'Aaron Fox on their team, it makes sense that they're going to start winning a lot more games, and it'll be unlikely for us to pass them up and leapfrog them into the playoffs. They might just be a bit too talented for us, but honestly, I don't know if that completely puts an end to our playoff hopes. When the Kings traded De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs, they got back Zach LaVine and a couple of first-round picks, but ultimately, I think the Kings are quite a bit worse off now than they were a couple weeks ago when they had Fox on their team. And in my opinion, the Sacramento Kings are the new Chicago Bulls. I honestly don't know if they even make a play-in spot, and they might end up thinking it's better to just tank and try and get a good draft pick this year because they know they won't be able to make the playoffs. So who knows, maybe both the Spurs and the Blazers are able to sneak their way into the play-in, and the Kings are one of those teams that just falls to the bottom of the lottery rankings. But as of right now, even if the Blazers keep playing well, I'm not too sure if they're able to pass San Antonio just due to how talented they are now that they have an all-star talent like De'Aaron Fox next to Victor Wembanyama. However, I still do think that it'd be a lot of fun if the Blazers keep playing well, and if you're winning games because Scoot, Shaden, Denny, and Tamani, and Klingon, and even Ayton a bit are playing really well, then I'll accept all these wins and we'll be happy watching them. But I also understand if they kind of want to pull the shoot in a couple of games, and maybe after All-Star break they start sitting some of their guys, they invent some injuries or whatever like they have the past couple of years, I wouldn't blame them. But I really love the direction that the Blazers are heading right now, and I kind of hope they make a push for the playoffs, honestly. Now moving on to the Luka Doncic trade though, man, do I have a lot of thoughts on this trade. And after sitting on it for a few days, my opinions really haven't changed that much since I initially saw that deal. Like most of you, I thought that Shams got hacked when I saw the notification on Saturday evening. I didn't believe it. It just seemed like the most textbook NBA 2K fake trade you'd ever seen. I immediately plugged it into Fanspo's trade machine, and the trade didn't even work out. I hadn't seen anyone else report it, and so I thought for sure that that deal was fake. But then, sure enough, you start seeing other reporters like Chris Haynes and even Shams posting it on Instagram with the official NBA ESPN account, and that's really what made this real to me. That's when I believed that this was an actual trade that happened, and I have never seen such a crazy and insane NBA trade in my life. I don't know what Dallas was thinking, and this might just go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history. Now, had the Mavericks got back both of LA's first-round picks, because if you recall, they had 2 first-round picks, and that seemed to be the sticking point when the Blazers actually wanted to trade Jeremy Grant to the Lakers. Joe Cronin wanted both of those first-round picks. The Lakers only wanted to give up 1. And so they had 2 first-round picks at their disposal. They obviously sent one of those over to the Mavericks in this Luka deal. But had the Mavericks been able to snag both of those first-round picks and maybe a prospect like Dalton Connect, then I think that deal would have looked a lot better, wouldn't have looked quite as bad. But the fact that they only got 1 first-round pick in Anthony Davis for a generational top 5 in the NBA talent like Luka Doncic is just insane. Now, Luka just had his press conference in LA, and you can just tell he had no idea what was going on. He looked depressed, unfortunately, and he just looked so sad that he got traded. And he even commented on how the whole excuse from the Mavs GM Nico Harrison of Luka and his conditioning being the problem was just a big excuse. And Luka even mentioned how he thought for sure he was going to sign the extension in Dallas, the Supermax extension, but now obviously he can't do that. Now, I think that the Lakers are planning ahead for their future, and honestly, any team would do what they did 10,000 times out of 10. I don't think anyone is doubting why the Lakers did this. I just think it's more crazy that the Mavericks did this. Any other team would have done this, obviously, except for the guy who actually had Luka, and that's the Mavericks, of course. Now, I'm not sure if this has any immediate effects on your Portland Trailblazers, but it's going to be interesting to see what the future holds for both of these teams. I'm kind of excited to watch the Mavericks now and see guys like Kyrie Irving who get the ball a bit more in their hands and see what Anthony Davis can do playing alongside a true big man like Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford, and how that plays out. So there you have it. The Blazers are on fire, possible trade deadline moves and predictions, and the Lakers just keep getting better and better. Thank you guys so much for the support on my last video. I've never had a video go even semi-viral like that, so getting over 30,000 views in just about a week or two is absolutely insane, and I'm just super thankful for you guys. I love sitting down and recording videos and just talking about this team, and I'm thankful that you guys appreciate the videos and kind of return day in and day out to watch these, even when I haven't uploaded in quite some time. And welcome to the channel, all of you guys who subscribed recently. I hope you guys stick around and like the video. Comment below if you're new to the channel. I try to reply to literally every single comment, and so comment on this video and I guarantee you'll get a reply. And if you're watching this video, maybe you saw my last one but you just haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. We're closing in on 2,000 subscribers, so it would really mean a lot if you guys would do so. With that said though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you guys all have a blessed rest of your day, and until next time, I'll see you later.